To help me unpack what all of this means, I'm now joined in our Brisbane studio by Dr. Kay Danes. Kay, welcome to the McGregor Angle, and what's your response both to the commissioners and the terms of reference that you've seen?
Well, Catherine, thank you for inviting me on your program. I'm an avid admirer. Whilst I'm happy that that people have been given this Royal Commission, I have to declare that my money was on Dr. Bernadette Boss, and there's no secret of that. You know that, and you know my position on that. And I think that whilst a lot of issues will be discovered through the Royal Commission, I also harbour some very deep concerns that not enough will be done to focus in on the defence and the current policies that, or one policy in particular that has got quite a number of inequities, and which I believe, if that is not addressed, then that will continue to drive the risk of suicide and reputational harm experienced by our serving members into the veteran space and thus clog up that space.
And I will bring viewers to that matter in a moment, because I think, and you make a very good point, I think out in the community, everyone assumes that all of those suicides have been by members traumatised by service in Afghanistan, when in fact the vast majority have not actually deployed to Afghanistan. Many have, but there's a large number who, as you pointed out in a very, very thoughtful scholarly paper, have had their reputations and dreams of long-term service in the ADF destroyed by defective administration or punitive use of the inquiry system. Yeah. Walk us through your thoughts on that, because I think most of the audience have a portrait of a veteran as having mental trauma from active service, when in fact the ADF really has a very poor record of referring people for bogus psychiatric claims to force them out medically and terminating their service. And you've written eloquently on it. How would you like to explain that to our audience tonight?
Well, I've spoken in depth with colleagues. Glenn Colomitz, as you know, he's doing a lot of work behind the scenes on this space. There are, I think, Catherine, I think we should say foremost that there are a lot of good people in defence that have given exceptional service for a long period of time, and a lot of those do not deserve the ill treatment that's been meted out to them by simply raising a complaint, you know, whether it's some issue in the workplace. You know, there's a vast number of them. And these people have an expectation that when they go up through the chain of command, that, you know, they will be heard and their matters will be met with genuine mediation towards an amicable resolution. And in fact, the policy states that in inquiry processes, you should be afforded procedural fairness. But to break it down, what's happening in reality, to put it quite simply in layman's terms, is that, let's say, Soldier A goes to their immediate commanding officer and says, I've got a problem in the workplace. They're automatically put under what's called a Defence Inquiry Regulations policy, which then becomes so convoluted, they end up in this tail-chasing administrative problem that really pushes them to the brink of despair. And I've seen officers and ORs reach a breaking point where they simply cannot obtain justice and they end their life. And
I know quite a few of those cases personally as well, Kay, and so does Glenn. We see a lot of that defective administration.
And it's not good enough. It's not good enough, Catherine. Yes, there's a complaints mechanism that they can go through, and the defence is quick to roll this out and say, if you're not happy, take your complaint to the IGADF. take your complaint to the Defence Force Ombudsman, take your complaint to the Defence Minister, and it goes on and on and on. And all those organisations tend to just side with the line that Defence has put out there. And meanwhile, the member is like, well, how can I fight this? How can I fight for justice? And I've seen these cases, as you have, and they are legally sound. They are legally sound claims that could be resolved through a genuine mediation system. Instead, they're just pushed over, and Defence goes, well, go and take it as a CDDA claim for defective administration, and, you know, you might, if you're successful, you might get a few dollars for it. And meanwhile, the machine keeps turning and people's lives keep getting destroyed.
Indeed,
I
and their dreams
this
of a
when,
long-term... Go ahead, please.
Sorry, Catherine. I'm so sorry. As you can tell, I am quite distraught about this, because I just received some news from Bernadette Boss that, you know, she's going to be stood down because of the Royal Commission going ahead. I had pinned my hopes on that avenue that I could get some of these claims put forward and some of the policy tweaked, and it feels so helpless and hopeless sometimes. You know, to get justice for soldiers and officers that really have been put through the ringer.
I understand, and likewise, I really hope that we don't lose a lot of the good work that she did. I know that the forums that she conducted, many people who were critical because she was seen as part of the chain of command, changed their mind after they had direct contact with her. Tony Dell, the former Test cricketer, being one of them. But look, Kate, before we leave you tonight, I also want to take you to Afghanistan. I know you're in touch with people on the ground, one of whom indeed spoke directly to our friend Alan Jones on Wednesday night and was abruptly cut off due to jamming, we believe, by the Taliban. What is the ground reality as of tonight in terms of getting those, in particular, the 140-odd security guards from our Kabul embassy out of Afghanistan? Is the government listening? What more can we do, and how much time have we got? I know that's a big answer, but go for it. Yeah.
The window of opportunity, Catherine, is really closing quite quickly. I want to make clear that the security guards have provided security protections to our diplomats that have gone to Afghanistan. They have been security vetted. They have done an exceptional job. There's no issue there, as people are saying in the media, that, oh, we have to, you know, tick this box and that. All the boxes have been ticked. And Glenn Kolomitz is quite skilled as a legal barrister, as a migrant agent, and we've been working with him diligently behind the scenes and Gap Resources to make sure all the legalities are in place. All that needs to be done now is for the government to say, yes, we will assist, get all the stakeholders on the same page. The security vetting's been done, the certification, all that's required now is a simple health check, to tell you the truth. And then these people that have loyally served us for over a decade will have an opportunity to survive. If they're not evacuated now, Catherine, you know, every minute that ticks by is literally a minute closer to their demise. And it's going to be a very ugly situation.